فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to I Have a Question, and the question that we have today is from a sister that she's saying that she's having a hard time lowering the gaze. And this is something that is not strange, because both men and women, they are ordered by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to lower their gaze. And as a result of that, it's in the nature of both men and women to tend to want to look at the opposite sex. And this is something that is in our nature, and whoever doesn't have this desire in oneself, he or she, there's something wrong in them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful, and this is the reality of the religion of Islam, that it does not opposes the nature of the human being, but it takes us away from the evilness to be righteous. The eyes that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created for us, He created it, and this is the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for us to use it in according to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. And as a result of that, we are not forbidden to look at things that we desire to look at, but it's only in the permissible ways. And the solution to this is basically to increase our iman, to get married for a person that is not married, as the Prophet ﷺ ordered the young people in general, that whoever is capable among you to get married, he should get married. And for those who are not capable to get married, then they should observe fasting continuously as much as they can, so that they would overcome this desire that they have in themselves. Another way to stay away from such a sin, because again it's tempting, and the shaitan, the devil, he makes it so nice and whispers to ones and makes it very difficult to remember that it's nothing but few seconds, and then after that it's all misery. Instead, if a person is patient and lower the gaze, as it's promised that a person would have the sweetness of al-iman till the day of judgment, that we need to look ahead. The major difference between human beings and animals is that human beings, they look ahead. They have the ability to look ahead and to make decisions that they won't see the effect of it immediately, but they would see it ahead of them, years or whatever there is. We need to have our hearts attached to the hereafter. And even in this life, we would get the sweetness of al-iman as a result of lowering our gaze, and to understand the reality of things, that when you look at someone that is in the streets or so, the shaitan is beautifying such a person in your own eyes. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that as a way of expiation to this sin, if you are married, to go to your home and to have relations with your wife. This will be an expiation to that sin. Why? Because she has what you saw. And the same thing of what you saw as a woman, that your husband has what also the same as you saw. And this is something that is a practical way. And every time a person falls into the sin, returning with the repentance and asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. But the Quran, reciting of the Quran, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness, having the proper environment in which a person doesn't go intentionally to the places where he or she might fall their eyes into things that is not permissible. We stay away from that, protecting ourselves, and to accompany ourselves with the proper company, with the proper friends, those who would remind us of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And again, marriage is a great help, seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And as all different things, we need to seek the means by dua, sincere dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.